Roll to Save presents The Assumptions, a SLA Industries actual play podcast. Previously on The Assumptions. The Assumptions, a newly formed operative squad, met in the local bar, the Ned's Arms, to discuss their first day in the job. Here they reviewed how to get a BPN, the Blue Print Newsfiles that were the sole source of work for SLA Ops. Despite the fact that they knew their first job was going to be a blue, and therefore a sewer maintenance BPN, they agreed to meet first thing in the morning to secure gainful employment. Bovril, the team's advanced carrion, was dubbed the team's media officer by McTavish the Frother. In turn, Bovril opined that McTavish would be the perfect distraction for the team in a combat situation. Speaking of distractions, there was an unreasonable amount of time spent discussing how to properly drink whiskey. In the end, nobody did. Bob and Bovril decide that they want an early night and leave McTavish to his drinks, gambling and the bill. The next morning, Bob and Bovril make it to the BPN hall on time. McTavish is predictably late. The rest of the team are suitably impressed though by the Frother's shiny new power armour, and then they make their way into the ridiculously busy building in front of them. Operatives might find themselves going up against the horrors of Cannibal Sector 1 and the murderous cognates of serial killers that populate Mott City, but is any of that as terrifying as the mountains of bureaucracy that currently await the team?
You get in the queue and it stretches. I mean, it's a multiple football pitch size bit room. There's armour of every sort, a lot of body blocker. You can tell that most operatives in here are, if they're above you, it ain't by much. But every now and again you look across the sea of heads and you can see just these immense forms of powered armour. Not quite anywhere near, but you can definitely see crack shot in there and stuff like that. So there's some heavy hitters in there. Although McTavish stands out pretty much. He looks pretty good in there. There's a lot of people kind of eyeing him sideways, and he gets a bit more kind of room, I think, is probably at the moment, until somebody tries to take him on.
But yeah, I'm guessing we all know how these halls work. In terms of you grab the metaphorical ticket and
yeah, basically it's like you get a ticket. Then you get to the start, you'll get a form to fill in, you fill the form in, then you'll queue again, get another ticket, get to the front, hand in the form, and then you'll queue again to get a ticket and then to get a BPN assigned to you. So it's a long and drawn out process, and you've got, if you think about it, you've probably got a couple of thousand people in here that are all either frothing at the lips, literally. You've got malice stormers who are sitting there picking chairs apart with like these talons. You've got Ebons wandering around in glyph suits. It's all even the odd near front. If you had a look, there's sort of bird-like new alien race. Shaktars are there, but there's also a lot of people that these guys are not used to waiting for stuff, and they are loaded for bear, and they are irritable. Most people are irritable.
Bovril volunteers to grab the ticket, fill out the forms and queue. I figure he's got a ridiculously high cool start. Bovril is very patient and is unfazed by this.
And I'm fairly sure that McTavish isn't.
Correct.
But McTavish does see quite a few little games going on. Dice, cards.
I mean, he takes one look at Bob, he takes one look at Bovril, and it's like, I mean, one of you to take care of that. I'll go distract myself while we're standing in line.
That sounds like another prudent decision. Bob, I will go and fill out the forms.
Sure, you don't want any company?
You can accompany me if you wish, but I think you'd be better served waiting.
Okay, either works for me.
Bovril goes and stands in the queue, and he probably starts talking to the person next to him.
Okay.
You know that way sometimes you get on a flight and someone sits next to you and you really don't want to talk to them, but they are completely oblivious to it? It's that, but in reverse.
So you've walked up behind this kind of tiny Ebon girl, in a glyph suit, and she's minding her own business. And she's got a couple of she's got a frother with her and a malice stormer next to her, sort of in front of her. So she's the sort of point of contact, and she's kind of just minding her own business. Seems very kind of chilled out. And the stormer that's with her seems less. You can see him kind of just flexing these massive fists and kind of rocking from foot to foot and kind of impatient. And the
Stormers are about 8 foot tall, aren't they? They're massive.
Yeah, they're even bigger than you.
Yeah.
And yeah, these things are massive. Just hunks of biogenetically engineered muscle and teeth and claw. They're a thing of nightmare, quite frankly. But the good news is they're on your side.
Yay.
So they're one of the glorious products of SLA Industries. So and as you walk up and start talking to this girl, she just kind of looks up at you really quizzically. And what you I'm sorry, what?
My name is Bovril. I'm with the Assumptions. We are queuing for our BPN. It is a beautiful day.
You're new here, right?
I am new. I am straight out of many. This is going to be my first assignment.
Wow, I remember that. Did, you know what to expect? You've clearly not done this before, right?
Not done this before. I've been to all the briefings though in my classes. I did not graduate very well in bureaucracy, but I have a friend who does. But I'm queuing because I am the most patient in my squad.
Patience is good. You're going to need that patience.
What
You're very polite. I don't think I've ever met. You're an ADV, right?
I am an ADV. That is correct. SLA Industries has raised me well.
You are the first ADV that I've had the chance to speak to, and you're very well spoken. Bovril, was it? Bovril?
Bovril, correct. That is my designation.
Your name. It's your name, right?
He nods.
Okay, good. Well, you're likely to be here a few hours, so that patience is going to come in handy. Might want to order some food. We've kind of sent out for some pizza. It hasn't got here yet. And she kind of looks at her right. So if it doesn't get here soon, I think the friends here might get a little bit more agitated. But
Bovril turns around and yells across the hall to Bob. Bob!
Yeah?
This nice lady says you should order pizza for us. We will be here for a while.
Oh, okay.
there's a little low chuckle from a few people around.
What?
I want to have some pizza too. We're hungry.
He turns back round to her. Thank you for your advice. Do you have any other advice? And what is your designation?
We've been here a while. Have we got any more advice? Just don't take any shit. I mean, there's a lot of people here going to try and push you around. You're a big guy, and they're going to see you as a target. A lot of people in here are blatantly, they're just bullies. And she holds out her hand and says, I'm Mercy.
I'm very pleased to meet you, Mercy. Bovril shakes her hand. He doesn't do that strange thing that people sometimes do when they try and crush the other person's hand. He just does it very politely.
So you notice that she's got this glyph suit on, so it looks like basically she's like a flayed human. There's lots of muscle architecture and stuff, and that goes all the way down to the hand.
Yeah.
It's not disconcerting for you. I mean, your heads are open, an exposed skull, so not really a problem. But some people may find it a little disconcerting.
Yeah, Bobril's probably not bothered in the slightest. It probably seems completely. He probably assumes it is part of her physiology.
Yeah.
And is no more different than having a weird skinless dog head like he's got.
Indeed. Yeah, absolutely. She seems to quite happily talk to you. She's nice. She gives you a few kind of pointers around staying out of trouble, or and just wishes you good luck. It seems she's very chilled, and as you say, the frother with her and the stormer not so chilled, and they just kind of occasionally just look and glare at you, but they don't engage really. And eventually their pizzas turn up and they seem to be occupied.
Bovril is absolutely hanging on all the advice she is giving and is very appreciative for it.
Okay, cool. And is Bob ordering pizza? Bear in mind it's 8 a.m.
Yeah, why not?
Pizza for breakfast. Pizza breakfast of champions.
I was going to say, what's so odd about that?
That's probably McTavish's normal breakfast, to be honest. It's probably from the night before and he's woken up with it like sliding down his
It's
face.
not a completely liquid breakfast then, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was more thinking it wouldn't be anything substantial. It'd just be, probably comes out of a vial, to be fair. And eventually, after several kind of hours, you get a buzz and you get a ticket, and you get eventually handing this ticket, and you get a sheaf of forms. So the sheaf of forms will tell you basically got to fill it all in, and that's your application for a BPM. So, tick. Queuing number 1 complete.
Yay.
So So you've got a big sheet of paper. Bovril, they got called literally just the one before you, and she was like, "See you later, Bovril. Good luck.
Good luck to you too,
Maybe I'll
Mercy.
see you on TV sometime."
According to our frother, you will.
Oh, excellent. Look forward to it. And they go off.
So Bovril will soldier on through this form.
You take it to the side, you kind of sit down, your pizza arrives, your stuff there. It's quite a hefty sheaf of paper. So Bovril's going through it, yeah?
Bovril has got zero bureaucracy skill. And well, he volunteered to do this, so I think it's unfair for me to trouble other people with it.
Okay. Bovril starts. He seeks his glasses and starts.
Yeah.
Going through
He takes his glasses off, cleans them, makes sure that they're all good, and cracks his knuckles and sets to on this form.
There's a few curious looks from some of the other people in the crowd. Looking at this massive beast, effectively just with his glasses on, starts filling in these forms, and it's things like squad name, operative name, SCL, blah, blah, blah. But it does go on, and there's a lot of repetition. Bob, you see him doing this. It's painfully slow progress.
Yeah, he probably stops every now and again and kind of chews in the end of the pen,
Yeah.
thinks, and then flips over the page. And
I'm curious to let him see how well he does.
Okay. It takes him a good probably 3 hours to fill this paper.
Oh boy.
There's a chunk of it. I mean, it would take you probably an hour, maybe a bit less. But he's going back and forwards, and you can see him kind of scratching things out and rewriting stuff. It's very neat handwriting.
very neat handwriting.
I've seen monster forms like that before. I will leave him to it.
Yeah. But it takes him about 3 hours, and eventually 3 hours, you've got these papers.
Yeah, McTavish the whole time has been making the rounds, not getting in fights, but doing whatever gambling and side bets he can. He's been dragging Bob along occasionally to try and impart some of his
Wisdom.
wisdom in air quotes.
It's literally anti-wisdom, okay? It's like if wisdom was existing in the universe and anti-wisdom existed in the universe, there'd be a big bang. Most of the games, you're basically told to sling your hook. It's generally between operative squads, and most of them are just doing it to pass the time. And a lot of them just tell you to where you understand it. A couple of them, on the other hand, are like, yeah, sure, come on, and start anteing up and play cards and play and dice with you. You are actually still you are pretty good. You get the feeling you're playing these couple of guys, and you're up, but you're starting to get really up, and they're starting to get really a bit antsy about it.
He is in two minds at this point. Keeps glancing back at Bob, that trying to like make a decision about whether he wants to walk away or really, really put the screws in on these guys in the middle, and potentially start a fist fight in the middle of his first day. And like for a frother, that is a really, really tough one.
Like, every time you look over your shoulder in Bob's direction, he's maybe one step backwards and just very slowly shaking his head. He's another step back, and then that shake gets a little bit bigger.
This could be the kind of thing I would probably make a roll for, because it would be like a 50-50.
You can flip any coin if you got one handy, or roll a dice for him if you want. As I said,
I think under the rare circumstance, discretion is the better part of valor, given that he doesn't want to start an outright fight in the middle of this hall, but that's not common for him. It's probably more down to him trying not to look like a complete arse in front of him.
All right, so you've made yourself about 125 credits off these guys, and you kind of bluff and fold the last hand and let them win the last bit, so they drop some winnings back, and then you can see them kind of they're a bit mollified by this, and they kind of just when you kind of step back, they're like, fair enough. And you probably hear a couple of curses under their breath as you wander away, but it's nothing directed at necessarily right at you or anything. It's just like fucking cards. They can't do it.
He still has the itch. He literally takes a large swig from his hip flask to try and calm his nerves, because Yeah, that took a lot of willpower.
Yeah, if this were a game with a willpower stat in it, I would be making you spend some money.
Yeah, he has very high cool, so that's kind of the main reason why I let him get away with that. So,
Okay. So avoiding the potential for a gambling-induced mortality, you return back and you see that the ADV is proudly grasping these forms in his claws, and Bovril looks pretty happy with himself, if he can look happy with himself.
He's always smiling, so...
He's always smiling, but it's a really disturbing rictus.
So now that I've filled out these forms, what is it next for Bovril?
So Bovril's going to have some more queuing.
Excellent.
So he'll take another number and he'll go and stand in the queue. He can try and strike up a conversation again, but this time he's game blanked. Literally game blanked.
He's actually, as he's in the queue, he is going over the paperwork.
He's going over the... It makes no more sense to you than when you first filled it in. Okay?
It's a learning experience for him.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, after another few hours, you eventually get to the front of the queue, and there's this woman calls you forward, this kind of big middle-aged woman with the dyed hair and the kind of grey roots, and she's shuffling paperwork, and she looks up and says, forms!
Bovril hands them over, smiles.
Forms, stamp, looks at you. Stamp. This is for you. If you can take it and queue in the BPN allocation, queue over there, please.
Bovril
Have a nice day.
thanks her and goes to stands in the queue.
Okay. More queuing for Bovril. More staying out of trouble for you guys, I'm guessing. Eventually, after another couple of hours. This queue is shorter because the queues generally get shorter, isn't it? And you get eventually to the front. You get to the thing, get called forward, and there's this guy, weaselly little guy with big glasses, and he's kind of looks up at you as you come in. He's like, name?
Bovril,
What?
the assumptions.
Turns, clatters into this like old style mechanical keyboard and looks in the green screen of the CRT that looks back at him, taps away. Yeah. Okay. Rummages around, brings out a set of forms. You filled them in wrong. Next.
Bovril picks it up and says, whereabouts exactly have you been filled in incorrectly?
Excuse me. Next. And he's this tap on your shoulder. Says, mate, get out. It's our turn.
Bovril turns round and he's walking across the hall and he's yelling for Bob. It's like, Bob.
Yeah.
Bob, I filled out the forms incorrectly. I need you to fill them out.
Oh, okay. No worries. Hand them over. Let's have a look.
He didn't tell me where, so I'm guessing you can figure this out. I'm terribly sorry.
No, that's not your fault. I'm going to glower in the direction of wherever the...
McTavish, do you have any of that leftover pizza?
he like pulls out a crust from like a pocket and like, here you go.
Bovril, who grew up eating remains in the cannibal sector, is completely unfazed from the fact this has come from your pocket.
It's just a crust. That's it. Just a crust.
Bovril wanders off to go and order some food for himself and leaves you with a big stack of paperwork.
Okay, this is a big stack of paperwork, but it's long-winded. It's a pain, but it's nothing you can't deal with. You have no idea how Bovril got it wrong, other than Bovril. So you fill this thing in, and you filled it in before the next load of pizza or food arrives. So you're done. You repeat the process. Eventually, you're stood in the BPN queue, and you're nearing the front. There's about 2 or 3 squads in front of you, all stood there. You can see the toll this has taken on everybody's life, all this waste of energy and life. And after what seems like a lifetime, you hear a sort of guy pushing his way through the crowd. Well-built, noticeably attractive male human operative, wearing high-end powder pink armor, covered in sponsorship branding. He pushes his way to the front of the line. There are a few shouts and grumbles, and he responds to this by casually turning and waving 2 fingers and giving the line a smarmy wink, before slamming his hands down the counter and speaking with the clerk. Within moments, he's away with the BPN in hand. He pauses. He passes. As he passes, he shouts at the top of his voice to the back of the room. "We got the big score, guys! Let's go do some grown-up work." And there's a rowdy cheer from a pink-clad squad at the back of the BPN hall, and they all wander out together into the gloom of the rainfall. And literally, you can still see the almost like the glow of this pink armor as they retreat, and you can see people literally incandescent because this guy's just blitzed his way all the way to the front of the queue.
If ever there was a person you wanted a meteor strike to hit, that was the guy.
Yeah. But then, that's the benefits of high SCL and balls the size of big things. Okay. So eventually you get to the front, and there's another guy there, and he's quite a young guy. But he's kind of looks up. There's a name?
Bob.
Just Bob.
Bob Genericus.
Can you spell that for me, please? He takes the spelling. And he said, squad?
The Assumptions.
Okay. So I am... Oh, excellent. That's all right. Okay, I'm authorised to issue you with a blue BPN from the Department of Sanitation.
As expected.
So, you hear the of the printer. He tears it off.
Nightmare.
Yeah. And hands it to you. And says, "Here you go. Good luck. Next."
I will take it and go away and find the others.
Okay. So
Bovril's munching some meat-based snack.
Very, very tough jerky.
Where did he get that from?
He ordered it.
Oh, good. Okay, he didn't just find it in the corners.
No, he's rooting around in the bins like, this looks good.
Someone that's been in the queue since 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. Department of Sanitation requires operatives to assist technicians from Department of Sanitation to obtain water samples from local sewers of downtown sector, and there's a sector number there. It's Third Eye News covered, and it is 75 credits consolidated bonus scheme per op, SCL 10. And it says report to Shiver Squad 177F at vehicle pool for transportation.
There we go, we've got wheels.
Excitement. Let's go.
So you head down to the vehicle pool. And after a little asking around, you get pointed towards a battle taxi APC in Bay 317. As you approach, you can overhear the Shivers. You hear, "The actors are here, show ponies inbound." You hear the sergeant, "Secure that shit right now." And the sergeant turns to you. "Welcome aboard. I'm Shiver Sergeant Akar. We're here to take you to Sector 2116. Drop you guys off. Apparently you got a job to do down there. If you'd like to come aboard, sling your gear, we'll get going."
Indeed.
Bovril's deferring to Bob because Bob can competently fill out paperwork.
The Fen Battle Taxi is a huge APC fitted with an armoured turret capable of carrying 10 passengers in full armour, with a huge 9-metre long frame, regularly seen on the streets of downtown as the primary mode of transport used by. Due to their cost, however, very few operatives run them, but you are occasionally given one as a transportation method. There's a bunch of Shivers that don't appear to be too enamoured of having SLA operatives on board, but you do notice that one of them, a woman, is in the turret, which is fitted with a power reaper.
Nice.
You can see that as I said, they don't appear too impressed with having to give you a ride, but they don't really talk to you. They don't really, they kind of look a bit askance at you, but that's about it. The engine fires up, and the battle taxi rolls up and starts heading towards downtown.
So this turret, is it something she sits in, or is it like a Humvee where she sort of pokes her head out and it's...
So she's in a kind of basket underneath, so she will turn at the same time as the turret.
Gotcha.
And so forth. So
Bovril's just staring at that, completely fascinated.
she kind of looks down and kind of smiles a bit. Okay. Power Reaper.
Do you get
You
to
seen
use
one
it?
of these puppies?
No, do you get to use it much?
Yeah. Fired off a few rounds. Let's just say the cling film isn't still in the wrapping, you know?
What
You want to
caliber?
come up here and have a look round?
Yes, please.
Well, no fucking chance. Sit your ass down and be quiet.
Bovril looks as dejected as it's possible to look with a dog skull for a face. Which is to say, exactly as he looked before.
No change of it.
Yeah. What caliber ammunition do you fire out of that?
Big caliber.
What caliber ammunition do you fire out of that? What caliber ammunition do you fire out of that?
She looks down.
What caliber ammunition do you fire out of that? Is there something wrong with the comms? What caliber ammunition do you fire at? He takes his helmet off and starts like tapping at it.
While the helmet's off,
Yeah.
I'll quickly say, I'd suggest answering him because he ain't gonna stop. Trust me.
I don't think he's going to stop if I do answer him. Just tell him to shut the fuck up. I've got a job to do up here. And she goes back to paying attention to. I mean, you are in upper downtown, right? If she's got to pay attention up here, there's something going wrong.
Bob's going to look at one of the other Shivers. What caliber ammunition does that gun fire? You've been listening to The Assumptions, our SLA Industries actual play podcast. This is a mini-series that we've added as part of the main Roll to Save lineup. We hope you enjoyed it and that you will join us for our next episode. Thanks again to Jason for running the game, and of course to Steve for voicing McTavish, and Matt for voicing Bob. If you want to hear more from Matt, you can find him on the Good Friends of Jackson Elias podcast. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can do so on Twitter at SavePodcast, or you can email us at roll.to.save.pod@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook by searching for Roll to Save. We're a monthly podcast about the history of old school RPGs. We hope you'll join us for our next episode. Until then, remember, guns kill, but so does the truth.